And says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's Thursday night. That must mean that it's time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this should be a pretty fun show. I don't think it's going to be one of the longer ones. I don't have an unboxing tonight, although there are new items here. It's just nothing that I'm particularly interested in, not for these prices. But we do have some interesting things that were revealed this week, some things that we've debated and talked about for quite a while. So it's interesting to see some of that actually come to fruition. We will talk about it. We'll do some comparisons. We'll talk about a few details. We'll see what's worth it, what's not worth it, what might be worth it. We're going to dive into all that. Now, that being said, I do need to take a minute and set up a few things. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week. Mine is, it's a week, right? It's a week. I got to be honest, 2023 has not been my favorite year thus far. It really kind of hasn't. I like 2022 better. Actually, I like 2020 and 2021 the best. I know everybody's like, we're all locked in our houses and stuff. I loved it. I thought it was great. I wish I could do it all the time. Maybe I'm a recluse. Who knows? Maybe I'm a recluse. That would make sense. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Mr. Survive fan. Hey, Joel, Dragonfly, Marcus. Hey, Jay. Hey, Imperial. Waspinator, happy to see you, Big M. Mike. As we go down here a little bit. 2023 needs to be like 2024, like yesterday. I agree, Ultra Megatronus. I absolutely agree. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to get going. We're not going to waste any time because why are we going to waste time? Hey, live. So very first thing, Takara showed off their latest collaboration crossover with Canon by way of the Nemesis Prime EOS R5 or EOS 5 R5. Basically, it is the same thing that they did with Optimus Prime, except now it's in Nemesis Prime colors. He comes with the Dead Matrix, which is kind of purple instead of Autobot logos on his shoulders. He has Decepticon ones. 80% to scale of the actual camera. It will retail for $125 US and due out in October. I don't know. I thought that Perceptor was a great idea for this crossover with the camera thing. I don't know why you're doing an Optimus. I don't know why you're doing a Nemesis. I get it. Optimus has been everything, but I don't know. It's fine. There's nothing, I guess, wrong with it, but I don't. In order to get the camera at the 80% that it's supposed to be, I feel like the robot is rough, real rough. But that's just me. Maybe you love it, right? Let's talk about Optimus, Primal, and Megatron. Optimus, Primal, Megatron getting a release in the Eternal Beasts Showdown 2-pack. It will retail for $98 US, due August the 29th. Here in Canada, it is retailing, I've only known it to go to one retailer yet, that being Toy Snowman, for $154.99 and is due in October. Now, let's talk about the Primal first. So this is the Netflix Primal. What are you getting with this new one? Well, this new one is more akin to what we got in the main Kingdom line. The swords on that one have like a metallic handle hilt on them. There's metallic paint on the head, down on the feet, on the chest. This, I am well aware, is not animation accurate to the original Beast Wars. But I chose the Netflix one, and I like it because I really like the deeper, richer red and the shade of the white. It wasn't as brilliant of a bright white. So I understand that this isn't animation accurate. Naturally, that is. It looks like the chest is a decent color match, which was a problem with the Kingdom release, where in Gorilla Mode, the chest was a bit of a different color match than the two like side pecs, basically, right? But that being said, I think that any of the primals are fine. I don't think that the changes to Optimus Primal compared to any other release of it is what sells this set. Then we get to this guy. This guy, of course, is Megatron. And there's significant changes with the Megatron release there. First, the Megatron in that pack has the teeth-bearing face, the growling face, if you will, still painted this way. But I think I like the more stoic face myself. It has less of this yellowing on the shoulders. It's still there, but it's more muted than it is here. And there's a lot of paint color details. So you don't just have a solid purple, you have lights and darks, very much like you have with the Masterpiece version of Megatron. When it comes to the main body itself, where we have the kind of gray, gunmetal gray on this guy, that's all black, right? So like the whole center of the chest is black on this one. These circles up here on the legs, they're black. I mean, it is what it is. The claws are, instead of being a bone white, are a stark white. Then we get to, I guess, the legs here where we have the purple details. I'm calling it purple. Maybe it's blue. Blue details. That's green. The little dots, they are blue here. They're blue there as they should be. The arms, instead of being this gray color, are the metallic blue color that they should be. The chest is largely the same, but down on the abdomen, I guess, we have 4 more silver color apps. And then when we get right down here on the pelvis section, we have blue on the sides, on either side of his belt buckle, we'll say. And that same blue is down on the pelvis. And I think that's about it. So it is definitely intended to be more like Beast Wars than this. But I don't personally feel a need to double dip. If I was to take the cost of this guy and the cost of Primal, I mean, it comes out to be maybe $100. I get it. You have the import and whatnot. It's the sort of thing, like, if you miss this Megatron and you miss that Primal, you know what? Probably pop for the set. They're great molds. If you didn't miss them, do you need to double dip on it? I mean, I don't think I need to. You might, but that would have to be a judgment call. Do I think that they look tremendous? Yes. Do I think the molds, both molds, are great? Also, yes. Do I think the price is a little high? Yeah, of course. But I'm used to prices being a little high when it comes to an import. Shockingly, not as high as I expected it to be. I would say it's more reasonable than I expected it to be. I just don't need a double dip. You might. Naturally, this is being released under the premium finish line, which I find very interesting because we have talked over the last few years saying how, okay, so the better decos that Takara used to do are no longer a thing, right? Because now it's all co-branded. It all comes out. When we buy Transformers here, it has Hasbro and Takara on it. But the premium finish line seems to be becoming quite the loophole. We've had premium finished decos for Optimus Prime, and that's the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, for the Siege Optimus Prime, for the Siege Starscream, and now for Primal and Megatron, to name a few. So I don't think I would double dip, but I totally understand if you feel a need to, or you need it to be that hyper accurate. I'd like to have it, and I would totally get it if I didn't already have this. It's just, I don't need 2 of the same Megatron. Do I think that the deco on the Takara one that's coming out is better? Yeah, a little bit. Although, to be fair, I do kind of like the solid purple on the dinosaur skin rather than the speckling purple, even though I know that the kind of speckling purple, or the camouflage purple, if you will, is more accurate. I get that. Great set. And I think it's actually fairly reasonable priced, all things considered. TFCon LA finally happening this weekend. Thank goodness I won't have to see name after name after name. I hope it goes off splendidly for everyone who's attending. I sincerely do. I really hope it goes off splendidly. So many panels. But we also have two items that are going to be exclusives to the convention. The first comes from Fans Project and their Lost Exo Realm series, basically. And they're putting out Tiger Rex for $100 US. It's basically Grimlock done in colors that put me very much in the mind of Weird Wolf, right? The sort of yellow and greenish that's used there, or the yellow and tealy, or the yellow and bluey. It's a weird color. I look at it and I think Weird Wolf. That's Weird Wolf's colors, but on Grimlock. I mean, cool, I guess, if you want a oddly colored Grimlock, I suppose. I don't know if it would be for me, but it certainly does pop, and it certainly is unique. Fans Hobby is putting out now. I think that this is the better one personally. This is the one I would be going for, Boss Man, and it is actually very accurate to the original Turbo Master Boss. T-formers have a number of comparison images up that really kind of shows off just how great the update from Fans Hobby really is. It will retail, kind of to my shock, for 85 US. I think that's a reasonable price. Honestly, I'm sort of surprised. I think the Takara price is is a bit lower than I expected in the modern era, I suppose. I think the Tiger Rex, it's okay. $100 for it. I don't know. That one seems a little high, maybe. But I think the Fans Hobby Boss Man, yeah, $85 US. I think it's worth it. I do. I really, really do. We have some updated information. Actually, before we get to that, let's do this. Fan Home is apparently a subscription service for model kits. Now, I never heard of this company. I don't really know what in God's name they're exactly doing, but and I think the way it works is you subscribe to a model kit, and I think you get a piece of the model kit or a section of the model kit each month that you will put together, and I guess attached to the section that you put together last month. And eventually you'll have all the sections, you can put them all together, and you have your whatever it is your model kit is for. In this case, it's going to be for the Bayverse Optimus Prime. It will have ABS plastic parts. It will have metal parts. It will have articulation. It will have, what else? Does it have LEDs? I didn't write that down. It might have LEDs. It is going to stand at 2 feet tall. So it's the size of, say, Generations Metroplex or Titan's Return Fortress Maximus. It's going to be a Titan. That's a model kit from a subscription service. Really, really peculiar product. Interesting product, but a peculiar product for sure. Update to the Metroplex that I pointed out last week. Last week, I reported on a Legends scaled Metroplex, or what they were claiming was a Legend scaled Metroplex. He comes out to be 17.7, I said 5, but 17.72 inches, about the same size as Studio Cell Unicron. I think that if anybody missed out on the Generations Metroplex, that this could work. Is it slightly smaller than people would like? Yeah, probably. However, that being said, and apparently it's going to be put up by Sian Culture Defense. It's going to be called, no, wait, I think the product is called Sian Culture Defense Fortress. And the actual name of the dude is Vladivostok, which I find very interesting. If you don't know, Vladivostok is actually a Russian city. It's the kind of Pacific port for Russia. It's the end of the Trans-Siberian highway, I suppose. It is kind of on the western side of Russia. The only reason I know all this is because Vladivostok is actually a fairly significant city in my book, The Everything Factor. So that's the only reason I know about it. But I find it very interesting. He'll have 20 points of articulation. He's due out in winter of this year, 2023. He will, of course, as I said, be 17 and 3/4 inches, or 45 centimeters if you prefer. But here's the thing. He's going to have LEDs. He's going to come with a slammer accessory, I assume non-transforming, I would guess. All for, get this, apparently $106 US. That seems like an awful, awful low price tag. I am shocked at that price. I feel like that's going to change and skyrocket, but it'll be very interesting to see. They did show some of the, I guess, models of him in base mode, which I think is really good. I think they handled the hips and whatnot really well to split out the legs and have the chest piece come down and touch the ground. Um, and I think the battleship, I suppose we'll call it. I think that the battleship looks really, really good as well. I think it's a win. I mean, I don't need it because I have the Generations one, but if I didn't have that, honestly, I would 100% be in for this. If for no other reason, because the price is super reasonable for what it is that you're getting. I'm very interested to follow this and see where this whole story evolves and develops. Let's check in with you guys a little bit. I'm going up here. Let's see what you guys have to say about all of this so far. Sprained knee. I thought you had a sprained ankle, Dragonfly. Oh man, knee. That's a bummer, man. That is a bummer. Hey, Omega. Are we going to get added? I don't know. Now I did notice a. What's the word I'm looking for? Setting. So I flicked it off. I guess we'll see what happens. It was on. I guess I flicked it off. I don't know. See, I don't really pay much attention to the ads. I guess because I guess because of what I do, right? But it's never really been a thing to me. So I don't know. But I don't think we will. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Maybe in the replay, but I don't think we should live. Let's see. Hasbro finally revealed. Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, Omega. You're ahead of me. Yeah, I'm not really much of a camera person. Well, I am for this, but I'm not a camera transformer person. Yes, Primal is a Voyager in Kingdom. That we all know that. I was joking about that Armada Optimus Prime last week, but the review actually showed up 3 days later. Of course it did. I'm sure it was a thief, and I'm sure it was like a test shot or a throwaway sample. Like, you can't trust any of those. Why would you trust them? They obviously have very low morals. So I mean, really, what did their opinions count? And what they're looking at is either it's something that isn't out as like the main production sample. So I don't know. I don't see any value to it, and I don't see any point in wasting time looking at it or supporting it. But that's just me. You do you. I had the Kingdom Voyager itself. I no longer have them. The one I own is the Classic Heroes series Rescue Bots one. Okay, well that's fine. Whatever works for you. Yeah, I love the Beast Wars, the Kingdom Megatron as well. Omega, think he's great. Hope we get Transmetal ones in Legacy. I hope we get some Transmetals for sure. I feel like the Studio Series Cheetor could be a Transmetal Cheetor. It'd be great to get a new version of Rampage and Death Charge, at least those guys. But we'll see. We'll have to see, right? I don't think we're getting it in Legacy, though. It may have to come after. We've had pretty much all of 2023 leaked and most of 2024. I wouldn't hold my breath for much since most of it is leaked and everybody kind of knows, right? Everybody kind of knows the leaks. And if you don't, go back and watch the last month worth of my live streams. I leaked a whole lot of stuff. So did other people, of course, but it's all over. And we haven't really seen anything for Transmetal ones, but you never know what they could stick in, right? Or what could come after. So we'll have to wait and see. But is it going to be something that they're going to do in like the near future? In the near future, I mean like 2023 or 2024? No. It'll be 2025 or later before we will get that. Yeah, well, I don't think the transformation's hard for Kingdom Megatron. It's involved. I wouldn't say it's a hard transformation, but if you find it hard, Omega, then don't do it. Leave him in robot mode. I remember that Megatron was used for T-Rex. Yes, it was used for T-Rex. Everybody knows that. I didn't get it. A lot of people did. It's a good mold. So I did like the metallic purple on the T-Rex, though. Let's see. some at Toys R Us. Heard several were stolen. Really? I mean, I wouldn't steal it, but hey, Lance. It's the Tiger Stripe G2 Grimlock. I don't remember a Tiger Stripe G2 Grimlock. G2 is, I don't know. Grimlock to me is a gray guy with a gold chest. Sorry, anything else just doesn't land for me. Yeah, I haven't. Well, Earthspark Part 2 isn't in my country yet, so don't say anything. This is the best I can say to you. Hey, input. Yeah, Omega, you got to stop. I'm actually going to remove that comment because I don't want spoilers in here for something that's not in my country yet. I got to remove the Earthspark stuff, man. I'm sorry. You're going to ruin it for me, and I really can't have it. I'm not even reading the comments. And it's nothing against you. It's nothing against you personally at all. It's just, it's like we don't have the first 10 episodes in my country yet. I watch them online, but they're not in my country yet, and they're only now starting to go through those first 10. I watched them on one of them shady websites, right? Hopefully they'll put up the other 10 and I'll watch it on that shady website, but it's going to be a while before it gets here. So I don't want to ruin it for myself, right? Was about to sit and watch, but got to go check the chickens. Be back in a minute. Check them chickens, buddy. Hopefully we'll get a repaint of Generations Metroplex as Metro Titan. No, I mean, we're not going to get a repaint of Metroplex as Metro Titan. They're not going to do that now. They might do something as a Metro Titan. I don't see them using the Generations Metroplex again for it, though they should. They absolutely should. Again, I'm tightened out. Like, I have 8. I just don't have the space anymore. Like, I think it comes to a point, man, you got to stop with Titans unless you got like a mansion. I don't have space for it, man. Would it be cool? Sure. But if you want one, talk to Input. Input done a bang up job with customizing one of them. Absolute bang up job. The cat files look really good on that Metroplex. I can't wait to see more. I agree. Now, I mean, this is super early, so we'll have to wait and see, right? Got your wisdom teeth pulled out already, and right now I am healing. Oh, yeah, wisdom teeth being pulled out is always rough, Omega. I had 2 done. I really don't want to mess with the other 2 if I don't have to. Yeah, 106. That's the price I'm hearing. That's wild, right? I don't know why my audio would be cutting out. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it. Omega, I feel like you've said that before, Omega, and I feel like you were the only one that it cut out on. Maybe it's your speaker, man. I don't know. Anybody else? Is it cutting out for anybody else? I don't know why it would be. It does sound too good to be true. You get why I'm skeptical about it, right? Hey, Ken. I don't think that they are going to do a Studio Series 86 Megatron because we had a Megatron that's pretty much G1 in Siege and Earthrise. He was a tank. If they were to do him in 86, he would be a tank because tank. I don't know. I don't speculate, and I don't see. I would be shocked if we get an 86 Optimus or Megatron or Galvatron or Cyclonus or Scourge. We've already got them, and they're perfect. I can't see. Maybe, but I don't see the point, I guess. The only model kits I build are Gundams. Yeah, I don't know anything about Gundam, but I do know a bunch of people who love building them. I don't know if you got to use glue or if they're snapped together. I don't know anything about model kits. I've never done one. We still never got Polar Claw or any of the other Fusors. By the time we get Beast Wars Silverbolt, Black Arachne will have gotten another boyfriend. I found Kingdom Megatron's transformation annoying. I don't find it annoying. I don't have any issue with the Kingdom Megatron's transformation. Is it involved? Yeah, for sure it's involved. Very involved. I don't find it annoying, although I will admit that I am always nervous with the hips. I do find the hips to be terrifying. That's the only word to say. Other than that, I find them all right. Merck is asking if anybody is excited for Reactivate. I mean, we'll get there. I'm not there yet. But you know what? I'll deal with it now. Reactivate. I mean, we haven't seen much. It's nothing to be excited about yet. We've seen a bunch of humans who's obviously looking at a transformer that's being reactivated, and I'm guessing it's Bumblebee. We know that the bad guys are going to be the Legion, which is cool. I have also heard, and I don't want to spoil anything really, and I don't think I am, but I've also heard that the Legion, big surprise, will actually be minions of. The Legion are going to be zombies. It's going to be a plague, but it's all going to be the machinations, I suppose, of the Quintessons. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, the Quintesson idea might have got thrown out. I mean, this has been Shine, this has been Rise. It, you know, let's see if it actually gets made. That's all what I'm going to say. Let's see if the thing actually gets made. Kingdom Megatron had too many tabs that refused to give, and the rubber panels kept folding over. Interesting. I didn't have any of that. Wild. Tiger Stripe G2 Grimlock was an unreleased prototype. Oh, okay, right on, cool. Well, I guess if you're into unreleased prototypes, then cool. You could find what new episodes of Earthspark on YouTube. Now, I find that very hard to believe. Windblade, very, very hard to believe. I don't see them giving it away for free. I would be. You might find clips. I don't believe for a second that there's full episodes. And if so, they're not going to last. They're going to get taken down because Hasbro will nail that. Reactivate is the new Transformers game live. It was Shine. And a couple of years ago, I unveiled a bunch of listings for Transformers Shine, whatever it was. We have a little more information on that in a little bit. But apparently Shine became Rise and Rise became Reactivate. I don't know. You're not going to get a gun former. You're not going to get it at all. It's not a thing. I mean, the question was very like within the last month, the question was explicitly asked of Mark by I think it was Rodimus Primal. What's the chances of that? And he said we would have to make the entire thing neon. So it's not going to happen. It's impossible in North America. Someone put them up. I've seen them all now. All 20? I don't see them lasting. I'll be shocked if they last. The only good thing about the Transformers movies is the soundtrack by Steve Jablonsky. I can't agree with that at all. The movies are great. You got to go into them, though, understanding that it's just big robots fighting. If you're trying to put any more logic or depth into it, then you're overthinking Transformers. It's just fictitious robots fighting, guys. That's it. And as far as I'm concerned, the only canon that counts is G1. Everything after that is just a reboot and a rehash and never should have been. But that's me. That's me. We all know what I'm like, right? We all know what I'm like. That really jumped down there. Yeah, not going to happen. It is what it is, you know. I just looked it up, and 9 episodes on YouTube looks official. It could be for countries that won't get it on TV like mine. And it could be. The first 9 I could see them having up because that's been out on Paramount Plus since November. So I could see them putting those first 9 up now. The closest to a Gunformer is the Battle Master, Target Master. Yeah, absolutely. No, the next 8. Yeah, that seems fishy to me. Your PS3 copy of Fall of Cybertron no longer works. And I had no choice but throw it in the... Well, it doesn't work because if you were trying to play it online, the servers are no longer online. So it's not a thing anymore, right? What? And the music was okay in the movies. Let's see. Hey, Sovereign. We go down here. Yeah, Beast Wars Animated Prime. They're all good. They're all good. Well, there haven't been very many video games in a long time, Omega. Servers are back from a fan my community post. He has tutorial. Okay, well then that's a fan to put up a server. The servers are not back. High Moon, Activision, no, they're not back. Somebody might have hacked it. Somebody might have put up a server, but the official servers are not back. The game is done, officially speaking. Not saying that there's not unofficial workarounds, right? And not saying that they won't re-release it or something, right? I tried cleaning my copy of Fall of Cybertron, and it still didn't work. That's a shame. I mean, eventually, technology doesn't last forever, but that's a shame. I'm only really looking forward to Commander Class Ultra Magnus. You can still find playthroughs on YouTube. Yeah, I think he wanted to play it himself, though, right? Hey, Throwback, don't worry about it, buddy. You seriously think they'll be an 86 version of Transformers we've already gotten? No. Don't you hate it when your action figures fall off the shelves due to the domino effect? Yes. Yes, especially when they're combiners. Yes. Okay, so let me go on with some more of the news here a little bit now. Let's see. More tabletop gaming stuff was unveiled from Renegade Con 2023. I don't know how long this con is going on for. Involving a crossover with My Little Pony, as well as as well as a source book. I don't know anything about these card games and stuff. It's not. It was the generation after mine. I don't know anything about it, but if you do, and you're into what Renegade Con is doing for tabletop games with their expansion packs and decks and stuff, and if you like My Little Pony, cool. If you want a source book to help you figure it all out, that's up and coming as well. Neat. Let's talk about Earthspark though for a moment. So I haven't seen 11 to 20. I have been looking, like I said, on a shady site online. I have not seen them on YouTube. Not say that they haven't been put up. I would suggest to you they'll be flagged pretty quickly. I would be shocked if they're not, either by Paramount or Hasbro or both. I think that was risky to put that up. That has copyright strike written all over it. But here's what I have seen. First, we know that episodes 1 to 10 are being released on Amazon on DVD, which also would indicate why they are up officially on YouTube. You can buy them now. They're out. They've been out since November. You don't necessarily need to have a Paramount Plus subscription now. If you are patient and waited, you can get episodes 1 to 10 now, kind of no problem. That being said, we do know that there's a number of new characters for those of us who haven't seen it yet. A number of new characters, including Breakdown, who I think looks pretty great. I think it's better in car mode than in vehicle mode, but it is what it is. I totally dig hashtag. I love that she's a ghost, man, and I love that she's a full-size Transformer instead of being very small and diminutive like Thrash. No, Twitch. Nightshade, cool name. Cool look, turns into a hawk owl. We know that Shockwave is going to be in this season. We know that Tarantula is going to be there, and it looks like he has a number of Tarantula drones as well, which I think is very cool. What else do we have here? Oh, and Grimlock. Grimlock is in it, and I looked at him and I thought he reminds me an awful lot of animated Grimlock. An awful lot of animated Grimlock. But he looks really good. I dig it. I dig the new characters and whatnot. I like it. I like where it's headed. I've liked the first 10 episodes. I have no doubt that 11 to 20 will be as good. If you've already seen it, cool. Like I said, it's not in my country yet. I think here they're airing on YTV, and I think the last episode was episode 4. So, they're going to be another. I'm assuming they waited until all 20 episodes could be done. I think it's going to be another 6 weeks until we get to 11 to 20. we're into March, so it's going to be late April around here before we get into it, unless I find it online sooner. So it is what it is. Reactive, Shine, Rise, whatever you want to call it. So apparently, two of the listings, and I reported these maybe a year, maybe a year and a half ago, and nothing kind of came of it. But apparently, one of them is an Optimus Prime, and another is a Soundwave. So if nothing else, I would like to think that in Reactivate, that confirms we're going to have an Optimus Prime and a Soundwave. The thing that's interesting is it becoming too complicated? Is it becoming too much when you have War for Cybertron video game Optimus coming out really around the same time as Reactivate Optimus? It seems like overkill to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like a bit of overkill to me. What about the retro line? Have you been enjoying the Hot Rod and the Starscream? Well, there's more on the horizon. We have seen images, thanks to JT Prime 17, of the Thundercracker, who is just going to be a redeco of Starscream. It looks like the G1 Thundercracker, except the blue is a much lighter blue than the toy accurate coloration. Also, there are rumored listings for Perceptor, G1 Shrapnel. And I find it interesting that they would re-release Shrapnel again. The Insecticons were released 5 or 6 years ago as a 3-pack, and it was the G1 ones. I'm surprised that they're doing Shrapnel by himself. And a fan-exclusive Optimus Prime. Some people have speculated that this will be some version of Optimus Prime exclusive to Fan Expo. I don't know if that's the case. We'll have to wait and see what that Optimus Prime is, what version of it is. Around here, the Hot Rod is actually at my local Walmart. I'm shocked because we haven't had any of the retro stuff in a long time. So I think there's 4 Hot Rod there. I don't want it or need it, but it's cool that it's there. Also in my neck of the woods now, I've seen Battle Trap, beautiful paint for Studio Series Rise of the Beast Battle Trap, but I've heard nothing but QC problems with it, so I didn't buy it. Then I've seen the Rise of the Beast Air Razor. Looks beautiful. I already have that mold twice. I don't need the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Air Razor. I got my Beast Wars Kingdom Air Razor, and I'm happy with her. I think it's a tremendous mold. And Freezer is here, who I might get him if he goes on sale, but I mean, I'm not spending $20 on a little 4-armed weird freak show that kind of turns into a nothing that they're calling a blaster. It's just, I look at it and I'm like, it'd be like spending $20 on the Ravage that I got last week, right? That Bumblebee movie Ravage that turns into a nothing. It just folds up into a box. Right? They call it Cybertronian cassette, but let's be honest, it's not. He just folds up into a box to fit in Studio Series Bumblebee Starscream's chest, right? It is what it is. It's not hateful. It's just I'm not paying $20 for it. $6, $7? Yeah, but not 20. So I mean, take that for what you will. Optimus Prime got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Kids' Choice Awards. Peter Cullen voiced him and Peter Cullen voiced him and did a bang up job kind of accepting the award. I mean, it is what it is, right? What else do we have here? Kang Toys showed off their legend scaled Gorilla Boy. I think they call him Thor Mini. And he makes, of course, the pants of their legend scale Predaking. I feel like their legend scale Predaking, while still stylized, is far more in line with what we think of as Predaking than their big masterpiece one. As glorious as that masterpiece one is, it's a heck of a departure for Predaking. I feel like the smaller one is a bit closer. We'll have to wait until we see it combined. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's not for me. I don't need a Legends Predaking. But I'm not hateful against it at all. Hey, you want to see the Guardian Robot review? Raziel Kane. Raz, he got it from his local, I'll call it his local shop in Quebec, I believe. It wasn't one that I knew, but I know it now. And the guy got it early. I mean, cool, right? But it's a legit store in Quebec. It's a legit buy. It's just the supplier got to him early. Pretty cool. So if you want to see about the Guardian Robot, go check out Raz's review. I mean, if you like the Omega, you'll like the Guardian, right? My only concern with all the gray and the white is, will the dude end up yellowing? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Oh, here's another weird one. Transformers, Mark Wahlberg, Air Jordan. So apparently, Mark Wahlberg has represented Air Jordans for like a long time, which is cool. But sometimes he's even been able to get them to do like small runs, like 1 of 5 or 1 of 1. Anyway, they done one that was very fancy of Transformers after the last night, and like it had like the grid pattern of the box, and it had all the bells and whistles. Anyway, this is a version of that shoe, not with all the bells and whistles, but it has some of the bells and whistles. The thing that wasn't clear when I read about it is if this is just something else that he sort of ordered, or if this is actually going to be like you go to your shoe store and you can pick up Transformer shoes. I'm really not 100% sure about that yet. I'm going to do the trivia before our last couple of pieces. Oh, by the way, New Jersey Collector Con is coming back April 1st. April 1st, which is funny because usually it's in October. And you know what? I'll save that. We have 2 other pieces of news. One, of course, is the Gamer Edition Studio Series, guys. But I'm going to do the trivia, and I'm going to check in with you guys. I'm going to do the trivia, and then we'll do the last 2 pieces of news. And then we're going to get out of here. So the trivia tonight. In the War for Cybertron game, near the end of Death of Hope, that campaign, what insult does Megatron use towards Omega Supreme? Does he call Omega Supreme Autobot junk? That's A. Or B, obsolete Hulk? Or C, gutless Guardian? Or D, rusted out relic? A, Autobot junk. B, obsolete Hulk. C, gutless Guardian. Or D, rusted out relic. I'm going to let you guys come up with those answers. I'm going to scroll back up and see what's been said in the comments. Let's see. Pineapple is doing great. Oh, is that the chicken's name? Pineapple? I love it. If we were to get 86 figures of characters like Optimus, Prime, and Megatron, they'll probably be more animation accurate with bright colors. Maybe. I don't see them doing new molds for it. I mean, they might repaint it. Again, it would be a case of I'm not double dipping on it. I don't know how you collect all those lines, Omega. It's all I can suffer with the prices being what they are. It's all I can suffer to collect Transformers. And even that's getting a lot more sparse. Yeah, Commander Class Magnus is coming in Studio Series. I'll have to see official images of Magnus. I mean, I'm not replacing my Combiner Wars one, not a chance. But I totally understand why some people would. It's 11-17. Yeah, I got a feeling that even you saying this now, I got a feeling that I'd be shocked if they're even still there. Ultra Megatronus, the digital versions are no longer available for purchase for the Cybertron games. My US stores no longer has. You should not be jealous. I don't know why anyone is jealous of us having Toys R Us. It's a garbage store, garbage, trash, garbage store. Don't even want it back. They overcharge like crazy. Their stock is abysmal, and all they have is rows upon rows upon rows of things nobody wants. Like if you want an army of blue streaks or silver streaks or whatever you want to call it, they got 50 there. You know, like it's ridiculous. I miss Target. Be glad that you still have Target. Toys R Us, who cares? Target. I would give up our 3 Walmarts in a heartbeat to have our 1 Target back. Owls are cool. I agree. Owls are cool. Jawbreaker's in the show too. Okay, if you say so. I don't know what Eddie is, but get it if you like the series, I guess. Breakdown looks great in Earthspark. I feel like Breakdown's car mode looks great in Earthspark. I'm a little iffy on the robot mode, but I haven't seen a ton of it. I was just like a clip of it, right? So I'm open to saying he looks a lot better because I wouldn't know, right? It wasn't the plasma bath that made Galvatron go crazy. It was lava. I would assume it was just the heat of lava corroded his circuits, I assume. He was thrown into a lava pit, right? Breakdown reminds me of my OC who was an Autobot Seeker. Okay. I don't know what you mean by double dipping, but okay. Let's see. Let's go down here a little bit. I want 2 Star Screams and a Hot Rod. Why 2 Star Screams? Hot Rod did. Omega. Well, Megatron did, I guess, but Hot Rod did. Anyway, you're going back over old debates. I'm not wasting my time on that. I'm going to skip all that. More Hasbro QC issues? Yeah, of course we're not surprised. Freezer destroyed... What? Vegeta? I don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. G1 Insecticons were Kmart exclusives in the USA, I believe. Could never find them at the only Kmart left in a 60-mile radius. They were at Toys R Us here, the 3-pack was. I thought the best thing in the 3-pack was the Energon Cubes, personally. Does anyone know if Commander Class Ultra Magnus is going to look like G1 version or not? I would assume it will, since it's supposed to be in 86. But I mean, so does Kingdom. In robot mode, anyway. The Studio Series 100 Bumblebee is going to be a must-buy for me. Yeah, nothing Bumblebee is a must-buy for me. But you know what? You do you, man. Something for everyone, right? When it comes to Transformers Bumblebee toys, I have the worst luck because they tend to break during transformations. Yeah, because they're grossly over-engineered for something so tiny. Keep it simple, man, right? Every time I get one of those like Studio Series Bumblebees, I'm like, keep it simple, stupid. And you know what? Honestly, I've said this a million times. The Jeep B, best B that there was. Best one that there was. I wished I got the Omega Sentinel in Energon Omega Sentinel colors because it kind of looks bland with its stock standard colors. Okay. So we go down here. Hey, Jay. I don't need any more Bumblebees. G1 and the Classics update. Reimaginings have me covered. Same with Sunstreaker. I also have the Q Transformer. Nice. We got one of those Q Transformers here. April 1st. Wait, that sounds kind of suspicious. I don't know what you're talking about with April 1st, but okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about with April 1st. I must have missed that. Okay, so D, D, B, C, D, D, B, A, D. A lot of D's. G for GotBot. The answer is actually B, Obsolete Hulk. Interestingly enough, what does, call this a follow-up, I guess. What does Omega Supreme in the War for Cybertron game and Megatron in the War for Cybertron game have in common? They have something in common. Should be obvious if I'm saying that they have something in common. But it was B, Obsolete Hulk. What do Omega and Megatron from that game have in common? Anybody who said B, you got it. The return of cheap surface shipping from Japan to Australia will help. Okay. Skyquake and Metal Hawk are on the way from GameStop. Really? Really? On the website, the last I saw, they were still listed for May. I haven't heard anything about my pre-orders. Interesting. We shall see. I also found out last stream on Pluto TV has a sub Sailor Moon channel. Yes, it does. I heard about that too. Our Toys R Us in St. John's is absolute trash. Yes, it is absolute trash. I agree with you. Everything. We go down here a little bit. I wish we still had that Target back, man. Look, myself and Starscream wife, we would leave, and like we live. Obviously, you live here too. We live in the like Paradise, Mount Pearl area, and we would pass by all of the Walmarts and specifically go out to Stavanger Drive, which is clear across the city, just to go to Target. We would literally do Target run and done. And when we heard it was closing, we were heartbroken. They should have just scaled back, man. They should have just scaled back. Ours was making a profit. They should have just scaled back. Target sells Walmart exclusives here in Australia. Wild. I have no store here. There is one online logo. That's so rough. Oh, it sounds bad in the Netherlands, man. Love the way Breakdown looks in Earthspark. It was an old show on Cartoon Network. Oh, okay. All right. I assume you're talking about that Ed, and Eddie. Again, we don't have Cartoon Network. We're going to, though, because apparently Teletoon is coming to an end and is going to become Cartoon Network because it's owned by, you guessed it, Cartoon Network. So I guess we're getting it come apparently later this month. I don't know. I doubt anything's going to change, but I guess we'll see. We've been selling Toys R Us Jeffrey costumes that we bought from closing down warehouses, actual costumes used by store mascots. We've almost sold them all. Still have a GG from the 70s. Wild. The Insecticon 3-pack was a Toys R Us exclusive. Yeah, that's what it was here. I think 86 Magnus will be the Earthrise Prime. What? No, it's not going to be the Earthrise Prime. That's not, no, it's not going to be the Earthrise Prime. Same voice actor. There you go. Yes, same voice actor. And that voice actor is Fred Tatasciore. I have no idea how to say his last name. And interestingly enough, Fred is not only the voice of Megatron and Omega Supreme, but has also, on many occasions, voiced the Incredible Hulk, which makes the obsolete Hulk reference also kind of funny, right? Very kind of a roundabout way of a nod for his voice acting work. I love Target. Yeah, so do I. Walmarts are horrible. I agree. I got Metal Hawk from Target a couple days ago. Yeah, I saw that, Jay. I was surprised that you were that late getting it. 4 Targets less than an hour away. I envy you, man. Netherlands is fine. That is why I am buying it there. Oh, okay. You're in Czech Republic. Oh, okay. So Netherlands is fine. Czech Republic has a rough time in terms of trying to, I guess, buy from stores. I got you now. I love, by the way, that there's so many people here from all over the world. It's mind-blowing. I would love to, at some point in my life, be able to go to some of the locations where you are and specifically like meet you guys. I don't ever see it happening because I live on an island and it's a fortune just to get off of it. But hey, never say never. Let's see. So we go down here a bit. Frank Welker, the one and only true Megatron. Yes, he is. It is awesome being from all over the world. Your dogs wouldn't scare me. I've never met a dog that scared me in my life, big or small. I love dogs. That's why I love dogs. Okay, so 2 last pieces of news. 1, X-Transbot's Bulwark. X-Transbot's G1 masterpiece bulkhead. No. Stop it. Just stop it, X-Transbot. It looks awful. It's obviously Grapple playing cosplay. Or, more appropriately, because it's green, I guess it would be Road Hauler or Hauler playing cosplay with a bulkhead mask on. And when it transforms, obviously, all that they did to change the mold was they put 2 sets of panels on the back shoulders that open up and make them now look like that god-awful armored army truck Jeep thing that the Legacy one turns into. It looks awful. Sorry, X-Transbots. I love you guys. I think you do beautiful work. I think that this bulkhead looks atrocious. Really atrocious. I'm sorry. First edition bulkhead. If it don't look like that, it ain't bulkhead to me. Just saying. And why did I mention that one instead of animated? Because the head that's on the X Transbots one is the Nolus Big Chin Wonder that was obviously with the circly eyes, that was obviously intended to be Prime Bulkhead. Okay, so Studio Series Gamer Edition. First things first, I have no problem with them redoing and revisiting War for Cybertron High Moon video game characters. Cool, do it. Should absolutely not be part of Studio Series. Studio Series is intended for the movies. It should have been its own subset, sub series, as far as I'm concerned. Now, that's just a personal gripe. I don't think it fits in Studio Series. But let's talk about it. So, first wave, we have Barricade. I think the Barricade looks pretty cool from about the knees up. What is up with those lower legs and those awful feet? I look at the feet and I'm seriously wondering how stable he's going to be to stand. Really wondering. And I'm wondering if those feet have ankle tilt because it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's made mostly out of the color plastics rather than paint apps, but I could be wrong about that. Love the head sculpt. Would never in a billion years guess it's Barricade. I don't even remember him being in the game, but to be fair, I mean, we're talking what, 13 years ago? I don't remember much from then. So yeah, I think the Barricade is it's okay. It's all right. It's definitely in the War for Cybertron style. I might get it, but I'll never call it Barricade. And I'm not pre-ordering it. If I see it, cool. But I don't really remember him in the game. That's all I can tell you about Barricade. He looks a little simple for what they're charging now for all of the bells and whistles that they gave us with War for Cybertron trilogy and how much better things were. And that's why we're charging more. I feel like that he's a fine deluxe, but I don't see him any better than anything from, say, Combiner Wars, personally. Let's get to the Bumblebee. So the original Bumblebee was, hold on, was this guy. Actually, this is the Bumblebee from the 3-pack. The original one, where this one has blue highlights, the original one does have the red highlights like he's supposed to. This looks like it jumped off the screen. The chest is angled correctly. Arguably, the upper arms and the shoulder should have been bulked up a little bit more like they are on the new one. I prefer the more goldy type of paint, plastic rather than the bright, stark yellow of the new one. This is one of those cases where here's what I'm going to say. By the way, this one is well articulated too. I don't think it necessarily needed an update. But here's what I'm going to say. If you already have this one from so many years ago, I don't see any reason to update to this new one. These retailed here in Canada, in my neck of the woods, at the time for $9.99. The new Bumblebee is going to retail here for $35.99. I'm cool with this one, I guess. This isn't even mine. This belongs to one of the Scraplets who does love the games, and this is one of his Bumblebees. But here's the thing. If you don't have this and you love the games, if you don't have this, I've seen it retail recently for $44.99 Canadian, which is far too much for it. It was $10. Why are you selling it for $45? If you have this, I don't see the need to upgrade. If you don't have this, then absolutely, if you love the game, the new one looks like it'll be great. I don't know if it has ankle tilt. I don't like the thighs being hollow, but you know what? It's a great rendition of the character. I have nothing personally against it. This has no hollowness, and this still has excellent articulation. It fills the bill. I just plain don't need it. I don't need another Bumblebee at all. If you do, cool, and I understand it. Then we get to this guy, Optimus Prime. Now, this is also from that same 3-pack. Him, Bumblebee, and Megatron. To be fair, again, sold by himself. This guy was $10. And while this one has different colorations on it, the one that sold for $10 didn't have the yellow on the knees. It did have the pink on the lights there. Where there's yellow highlights here, I mean, they weren't there. This has a silver Autobot logo on the left shoulder. I guess the regular retail one has the red Autobot symbols on both shoulders. I mean, it is what it is, right? This sold for $10. It was 5.5 inches. And in fact, I measured it before I came on the air, and up to the top of the tires is 6.25 inches. The new one to the very tippy top is 6.5 inches. This was $10. The new one is going to be $47.99 here. Again, I would not go back in time and go looking for this deluxe because his price is stupid. I would definitely get the new Studio Series one. But this is another one of those cases where I don't need it because I do have this one. Now, here's the kicker. That Bumblebee, that Optimus, and the Megatron, I found thrifting in a bag, all three for $6 Canadian. I mean, three of the best Transformers that they ever did for $6 Canadian. Yeah, I have nothing against the new ones, and I would not advise going back and trying to hunt these ones down. If you love the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games, absolutely, man, go in on the new ones. For me, I don't need them, but I understand if you do. I tell you what, I will be interested to see. Let's see them retackle and redo Bruticus. Let's see how they do with a modern update on Bruticus, because we all know how awesome that model was, but how bad it turned out when they tried to do it in plastic. Whoo! And that's all the news, ladies and gentlemen. I still have that Bumblebee. I'm just going to check in with the last couple of things here. My first edition Bulkhead is my favorite in my entire collection. I get it. Barricade 24 is a YouTuber done a video comparing the new War for Cybertron figures with the video game models. Yeah, I looked at that. I looked at the video game models, and like, that Optimus is accurate. The new Optimus is accurate. The new Optimus is probably a little more accurate, but I don't want to spend 5 times as much for a slightly more accurate Optimus. That's a quarter of an inch taller. It's just, I mean, the dollars and cents just don't make sense to me. That's all. I still have the Megatron too. I still have the Bruticus. I still have the Jazz. I don't think I have the Sideswipe anymore. Actually, again, I don't have any of these. One of the kids has them. That Megatron was so good. War for Cybertron Metroplex would be great. Well, we have that. It came out in 2013, but an update would be interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, what? Galvatron's insanity. The exact diagnosis was severe failure in reality processing, a malignant plasma neural tic. The Torkalons even specifically asked Cyclonus if there was some sort of plasma accident. Okay, I guess he was thrown in plasma. What do I know? I thought it was a lava bath for all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Don't forget, please, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. Tomorrow will be first edition Starscream. Next Tuesday will be Slipstream. So a couple of very simple short reviews. And then I'm going to be delving into Shattered Glass 2. If you remember, I reviewed issues 1 to 5 of Shattered Glass. Well, I'm going to be doing the same thing again. I wasn't that impressed with the first 5 issues. Am I more impressed this time around? We'll see. But I'm going to tell you this. I think issue 2 of that 5-part story is the single best thing I've ever read from IDW. Take that for what you will. I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, you guessed it, inside the... I gotta move that out of the way. Bear with me a second here, guys. Sorry about that. Inside the videos. Have a great weekend, one and all.